You stood there packing quiet goodbyes, folding our nights into reasons and lies. I wanted to beg, but my voice felt small. Some loves don't fight, they just fall. Your eyes were already somewhere else, and mine were learning how to help my heart breathe without you near. I learned to let you leave when staying would break me in two. All in love isn't holding someone who's already gone from you. I didn't stop loving you, I just stopped chasing the truth. I learned to let you leave, even when it was killing me too. Your name still sleeps on my tongue at night, like a prayer I don't have the strength to fight. I replay moments I can't erase, but memories don't beg you to stay. I read the silence in everything, the way your touch stopped meaning me, and my heart finally understood. I learned to let you leave when your hands let go of mine. I learned some endings come quietly long before the final line. I didn't stop loving you, I just learned what love should do. I learned to let you leave so I could learn how to survive you. If love means freedom, then I was brave. I opened the door and swallowed the pain. I watched you walk into your new life while I stayed behind, learning my soft breakdown. I still love you, I always might, but I love myself enough tonight. Final till let you leave, not because I didn't care, but loving you meant choosing not to keep you trapped in my brain. I didn't lose everything. I found the peace of my truth. I learned to let you leave and finally learn how to choose. You left with my heart still aching inside, but I stayed, and I'll be alright. face in half-lit rooms where words were scared to stay. I memorized the way you sighed when something slipped away. I never asked for promises, I never made a sound. I loved you in the quiet where we were never found. Every feeling stayed between my ribs, every truth I swallowed whole. I let you be my almost while I faded into whole. I loved you in the quiet when you didn't hear my heart, in the pauses between breathing where we fell apart. You spoke with your distance, I answered with my pain. I loved you in the quiet, and you never said my name. You leaned on me like midnight rain that never meant to stay. I held you like a secret I was too afraid to say. I smiled through the hurt and pretended I was fine. I was yours in all the moments you left behind. I read your silence like a song that only broke my soul. I kept choosing you in pieces while you were letting go. I loved you in the quiet when you didn't hear my heart, in the pauses between breathing where we fell apart. You spoke with your distance, I answered with my pain. I loved you in the quiet, and you never said my name. If loving you was losing me, I paid the price in tears. I stayed when you were halfway gone for all those empty years. I never needed forever, just something real to hold. But I was loving you in whispers while you were growing cold. I loved you in the quiet where the truth was never loud. I gave you all my silence, you never turned around. Now all that's left is echoes of a love you never knew. I loved you in the quiet, and I lost myself in you. Now I'm learning how to breathe again in rooms without your voice. I loved you in the quiet, but I'm choosing me by choice. You sat beside me, but your eyes were far, smiling at your phone like that's where you are. I spoke your name, it echoed back like loving you was something I lacked. We shared a room, we shared a bed, but every night you left my head. Your body close, your heart elsewhere. I held your hand, but you weren't there. I blame myself, I tried to change just to feel you feel the same. But love can't live on hope and fear, and I missed you while you were here. I missed you while you were here with me. And that's the kind of pain no God sees. You were breathing, but you were gone. I was holding on, alone too long. You kissed my lips, but not my soul. I felt the distance take its toll. You were near, but disappeared. I missed you while you were here. I memorized the way you'd sigh when I asked if you were alright. You said I'm fine, like a goodbye. I should have known, but I still tried. I love the version of us I made while you slowly slipped away. I kept the love, you kept the doubt. We both knew how this would turn out. I waited for you to come back home, but I was waiting on my own. Your silence was loud and clear, and I missed you while you were here. I missed you while you were here with me. And that's the kind of hurt that stays quietly. You were present, but never whole. You left me lonely next to you. You touched my skin, not my fears. I cried alone through all those years. You were close, but never near. I missed you while you were here. The hardest part isn't letting you go, it's knowing you left long before I loved you deep. You stayed unclear. I lost you while you were here. I missed you while you were here with me. And that breaks my heart more honestly than if you just walked out the door. At least then I'd know what I was crying for. Now all I have are empty tears for a love that slowly disappeared. You were mine, but not sincere. I missed you while you were here. You finally left, and now it's clear. I stopped missing you when you disappeared. The house still breathes your name at night. Every shadow feels like you. Your coffee cup, your half-made plan, still waiting where we used to. I talk to walls that never answer, sleep beside an empty side. You left so clean, no broken glass, just silence, learning how to cry. You took your heart, you took your light, but left the memories on. I didn't know how to move on, so I stayed after you were gone. I stayed when love stopped calling, when hope learned how to fade. I held on to the pieces you were already throwing away. You found your life without me. I learned to breathe alone. You walked into forever. I stayed after you were gone. Your laugh still echoes in my head like a song I can't erase. I replay us in quiet rooms just to see your face. You said we tried like it was enough, like I didn't give my all. You closed the door with steady hands. I was still leaning on the wall. You healed by letting go of me. I healed by holding on. You found peace in leaving. I stayed after you were gone. I stayed when love stopped calling, when hope learned how to fade. I held on to the pieces you were already throwing away. You found your life without me. I learned to breathe alone. You walked into forever. I stayed after you were gone. Maybe loving you was my mistake, or maybe it was my truth. I would choose the pain again if it meant one more moment with you. You'll never know how heavy it felt watching you move on so strong, while I stay learning how to live in a world where you don't belong. I stayed through every memory, every what if, every scar. I loved you past the ending, past who we really are. If loving you was losing, then I lost more than you'll know. You found your way without me. I stayed after you were gone. If you ever feel my absence in the quiet you outgrew, just know I stayed and loved you still, even when you never knew. You said you'd found your peace without me, said my name didn't hurt anymore. You spoke like time had healed you, like I was just a memory you outgrew before. I smiled like I was fine with it, like I'd already moved on too. But every word you said so easy was a knife I never showed to you. You were standing in the present, I was trapped in what we were. You were learning how to let go, I was holding every scar. I was still in love when you walked saying your name when I tried to pray, still hoping you'd turn around somehow, while you were already gone by now. You said goodbye like it didn't break you, like our story was already done. But you left me there, falling apart, 'cause I was still in love. I packed up all our photographs, but couldn't throw the feelings out. Every room still felt like you, every silence screamed too loud. You found someone who makes you laugh, I found nights I couldn't sleep. You were learning how to start again, I was drowning in what we used to be. You were healing, I was bleeding from the saying goodbye. You let go to save yourself, I stayed and slowly died. I was still in love when you moved on, still writing songs you'll never hear, still saving a place beside my heart, like you were ever coming back here. You said goodbye like it didn't shake you, like losing me was nothing new. But you broke me without even knowing, 'cause I was still in love with you. Maybe loving you was my mistake, maybe staying hurt more than leaving ever could. But I gave you everything I had, and I'd do it all again if I could. If loving you was a crime, then I served the time alone. You found peace in letting go, I found pain in holding on. I was still in love when the lights went out, still believing in us somehow, still waiting on a miracle that never came back. I stayed around, you closed the door and never looked back, like my heart wasn't enough, and I lost myself trying to survive, 'cause I was still in love. Now I'm learning how to breathe again without hoping you'll come through. But part of me will always break, admitting I was still in love with you. I watched the seasons change your mind, while I was standing still in mine. You said forever softly once, then left me with the silence after. I held your name like it was prayer, said it when no one else was there. You were already halfway gone, I loved you like you'd stay a little longer. I kept believing in someday, you kept learning how to walk away. Love didn't wait for me, it packed up quietly, while I was fighting for us both, you were letting go of me. Love didn't wait for me, it chose a different road. I was still saying please don't leave, when your heart already closed. Your smile felt colder every night. Your touch felt more like saying goodbye. I blame myself for wanting more when you were done wanting anything. I stayed where all our memories live, and promises you couldn't give. You moved on like I was wrong for loving you the way I did. I gave you all I had to give. You gave up trying to feel. Love didn't wait for me. It packed up quietly. While I was fighting for us both, you were letting go of me. Love didn't wait for me. It chose a different road. I was still saying please don't leave, when your heart already closed. If loving you was losing myself, I'd still do it all again. 'Cause even broken I was real. I just loved you past the end. You found peace in walking out. I found pain in staying. I was holding on to hope. You were already free. Love didn't wait for me. It slipped through trembling hands. I built a future in my dreams. You had different plans. Love didn't wait for me. It left without a sound. I stayed in what we used to be, while you stopped looking back around. Now I'm learning how to breathe without you next to me. Love didn't wait for me, but I stayed and paid the fee. We didn't fight, we didn't break the room. No shadow words, no slam doors in June. Just tired eyes and voices low, like we both knew what we couldn't say. So you traced circles on your cup, like you were trying not to look up. I memorized the way you sighed, knowing this was our last night. No blame to throw, no scars to show, just love that learned how to let go. Our goodbye was gentle, quiet and slow. No tears on the floor, just hearts letting go. We didn't hate, we didn't pretend. We loved each other right to the end. You kissed my cheek, said take care, like we were strangers who still cared. It hurt the most because it's true. Our goodbye was gentle, but it still broke me in two. Your jacket still smells like rain. I left it hanging, it knows my pain. Every photo still feels alive, like we almost made it out. fight, we didn't break the room. No shadow words, no slam doors in June. Just tired eyes and voices low, like we both knew what we couldn't say. So you traced circles on your cup, like you were trying not to look up. I memorized the way you sighed, knowing this was our last night. No blame to throw, no scars to show, just love that learned how to let go. Our goodbye was gentle, quiet and slow. No tears on the floor, just hearts letting go. We didn't hate, we didn't pretend, we loved each other right to the end. You kissed my cheek, said take care, like we were strangers who still cared. It hurt the most because it's true, our goodbye was gentle, but it still broke me in two. Your jacket still smells like rain, I left it hanging, it knows my pain. Every photo still feels alive, like we almost made it out alright. You said, maybe in another time. I nodded, but you weren't mine. Some loves don't burn, they fade. Soft as promises we never made. No shattered trust, no loud goodbyes, just broken hearts and honest tries. Our goodbye was gentle, quiet and slow. No screaming words, no need to show. We held the truth between our hands, like something beautiful we couldn't stand. You walked away, didn't look back. I stayed frozen on that crack. It hurt the most because it's true, our goodbye was gentle, but it still broke me in two. I wish you hurt me just a little bit, so I'd have a reason to hate this. But you were kind and I was too. That's what makes it harder to undo. Some nights I pray you miss me back. Some nights I hope you're never sad, 'cause loving you means letting you be, even when you're not with me. Our goodbye was gentle, soft like a lie, the kind that smiles while your heart cries. We didn't lose, we didn't win, we just reached the quiet end of us then. If love was measured by how we felt, we didn't hate, we did well. It hurts the most because it's true, our goodbye was gentle, and I'm still loving you. Yeah, I'm still loving you, even after our gentle goodbye. We didn't throw words like knives in the dark, no shattered glass, no breaking hearts. We spoke in pauses, learned to breathe like love was something we couldn't keep. You looked at me like you already knew the ending was closer than the truth. I tried to smile, you tried to stay, but silence said what we couldn't say. No slam doors, no final fight, just tired eyes and fading light. I held my tears, you held your cold, like we both knew it was time to go. We ended without screaming, no anger in our goodbyes, just two hearts slowly bleeding behind calm, pretending smiles. Love didn't shine lonely, it just slipped through our hands. We didn't break from hating, we ended without screaming. I still hear you in the quiet room, in things we said we'd never lose. Your name still echoes in my chest, like unfinished words I never said. You took your half of all our dreams, left me with memories in between. Nothing cruel, nothing unkind, just love that ran out of time. No, don't leave, no, make this right, just a nod beneath the hallway light. I watched you walk how endings go. Some goodbyes don't make a sound, they just leave you on the ground. I stayed when it was easier to run, held your name like a loaded gun. Every maybe felt like hope to me, while you were already halfway free. I read your silence like a prayer, told myself you still cared, but love shouldn't beg to be seen. And I was fading in between. I gave you all my nights and truth, you gave me time but not your heart. I was fighting for us while you were letting go from the start. You didn't choose me when it mattered most. You let me love you alone. I was standing right in front of you, but you were already gone. You didn't choose me, and that's the truth. No matter how deep I fell, I was an option, not your home. And that's the part that hurts like hell. I memorized the way you smiled, like it could save me for a while. But every promise felt delayed, every someday slowly frayed. I carried us on broken knees, loved you more than you loved me, and I'd still lose if I stayed. So I lost you anyway. I tried to be enough for two, made excuses for your doubt, but love don't leave you guessing. Love don't quietly walk out. You didn't choose me when it mattered most. You let me love you alone. I was standing right in front of you, but you were already gone. You didn't choose me, and that's the truth. No matter how deep I fell, I was an option, not your home. And that's the part that hurts like hell. Maybe I love the idea of us more than you ever did. Maybe I saw forever while you were just passing through it. I would have stayed through anything, but love needs two to breathe, and I can't keep breaking myself for someone who won't choose me. You didn't choose me, I see it now. I was holding on alone. I gave you my whole heart. the doubt. And that's the hardest goodbye. I'm still learning how to live without. I was holding on to maybes in the dark, reading old texts like they still had a spark. I believe love stays if you hold it tight, but you were already gone every night. Your side of the bed still smells like rain. I memorized the sound of your name. I kept waiting for you to turn around, while your footsteps faded without a sound. You said time will heal, but time just knows how to make the silence grow. I stay where your heart used to be, loving the ghost you left with me. You left before I let go, before my heart was ready to fall. I was still fighting for others while you weren't fighting at all. You moved on like I didn't exist, like our love was easy to lose. You left before I let go, and I'm still breaking over you. I replay the last goodbye in my head, every word we never said. I would have stayed through the pain, but you chose freedom over my name. I learned how to smile while I cried, learned how to love you from the other side. I held on to the truth too long, that we were right even when we were wrong. You closed the door so quietly, like I wouldn't feel it in me. But some loves don't end fast or clean, they just bleed in between. You left before I let go, before I was done believing I was still building forever while you were already leaving. You erased us without a sound, like I was nothing you knew. You left before I let go, and I'm still learning how to lose you. If love is letting go, why does it hurt like this? Why do I miss your silence more than your kiss? I would have stayed until the end, even when it hurts to breathe. But you left while I was still in love, and that's what's killing me. You left before I let go, before my heart could understand. I was still holding your picture while you were holding someone else's hand. I'll survive, but I'll always know what it feels like to be left alone. You left before I let go, and now I have to do it on my own. I finally let you go tonight, but you were gone long before goodbye.